house in Baltimore is frightful. It's all brought to you by Howard Bank and our friends at Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast, as well as the Maryland Jockey Club. And lovely Laurel underway this weekend. We're going to have entries and results out at WNST.net. Luke Jones joining us. And, we don't do a lot of, exotic wagering propositions and all that stuff. And once in a while, this guy joins us. He is Brandon Lang for BrandonLang.com. The movie is Two for the Money. He is not Matthew McConaughey, but we'll play that on our set here today. And, I say exotic propositions. I was typing that as the headline out on our Facebook Live and our YouTube. This is the game where, everybody wants to bet on it back in the day and have a little money, little action. But certainly from a Vegas standpoint, it's all about safety, yes or no, who will touch the ball for, all these weird things that sort of make the bean dip go down a little better on Super Bowl Sunday, especially if the Patriots are really going to win and we're going to be subjected to this again.
Yeah, I got some good ones. The one that I love, I call it my prop bet children's unborn children's children. Plus 180 is Al Michaels going to mention Rocky. He's going to mention Rocky. They're a dog.
Sure.
I think he mentions it right off the top. You're cashing the plus 180 ticket.
Well, I know Al.
Boom.
I can make that happen.
So there we go.
You know what I mean? That's the weird part about this is that you really can't have a Tim Donaghy involved here like me.
But I've always said that with prop bets, they cap what you can bet. Pink can tell her friends, and Pink lives in Vegas. Pink can tell her friends, listen, I know what the over-under is. I'll definitely go under. You can't hammer it for $10,000 on a prop bet. I think most casinos cap it at $500.
Okay.
A couple may let you go for $1,000.
Oh, so
absolutely, they cap that. That's a no-brainer.
They're not going to let you steal money.
Absolutely. So there's that one. The over-under on how many times they say Tom Brady's age. The over-under is 5. There's no way they beat that dead horse. Under the posted total, it's plus 110.
We're betting on broadcasters
I like
now.
Under. No, I got some good ones. There's another great one. Russell Westbrook. They're playing the Nuggets. Russell Westbrook, points, rebounds, and assists. That total, he's minus 1.5 versus total first downs for the game. So now, against Philadelphia the other night, he went for 60. I think 39, 14, and 9 or something like that. Right. He went for 60. So you figure, okay, let's say he goes 55. Is there going to be more than 55 first downs combined? I think that's a great one. And the last one, is Tony Dungy going to pick New England or Philadelphia? I say he picks New England, and he's plus 240 if he picks New England. Great value there, Tony Dungy.
You're figuring it all out. Brandon Lang for Brandon Lang. And in between all of it, there is a football game.
Yes.
And they're going to play this game. And, you've said all along, it's quarterbacks here. Just down the line, how are you going to feel betting against Tom Brady and not cashing that ticket and feeling foolish afterward?
Well, it's funny. You look at their 5 Super Bowl wins, and they've been by 3, 3, 3, 4, 6.
Close games. Vinatieri.
Yeah, that tells me one thing. When the Patriots get to the Super Bowl, they're not necessarily the best team, but they're the best coach team. And that's why you haven't seen a Niners, San Diego, Steve Young putting up 55 on somebody, right. Troy Aikman and Dallas putting up a 50 spot on Buffalo. You don't see that with New England. In their whole Belichick-Brady era, they've only gone on the road 6 times to win a playoff game. They've had 6 playoff road games. So think about what home field advantage has meant to them. Look at the path.
I don't even remember them winning a road game.
They won 2 AFC championships in Pittsburgh. They won an AFC championship game out in San Diego against Phillip Rivers.
I watched Brady lose his first ever playoff game in Denver. I was at a Patriot a long time ago with my wife. But I don't remember the Patriots walking off of a field in Pittsburgh having lost
twice,
or Baltimore or Indianapolis much, right?
They've lost 2 AFC championship games in Denver, and the other was the 38-34 comeback win by Peyton in Indianapolis. Other than that, 6 playoff road games, 3-3
in 20 years.
In 20 years. So that tells you that when they
get
there,
all we do is play playoff games.
And all we play games, Baltimore. And Baltimore's one of the few teams that's been able to go up to New England and beat them in New England. So
we were unavailable this year. The 4th and 12th.
I know. And so when you anoint them as the greatest franchise ever, when you anoint them as they're really not. They struggled to win Super Bowls. And if you want to really break it down, the Rams let them off the hook in the first one. Kurt Warner got inside the 15-yard line.
Well, Orlando Pace was sitting here telling us about it.
Three field goals. It's 9-0 when it could have been 21-0. The next Super Bowl against Carolina, Steve Smith and Delhomme lit them up for 31. They had the Eagles by 10. McNabb backdoored it. And then the last two, they shouldn't have beat Seattle. They shouldn't have beat Atlanta. So a break either way, we're talking about the 1-7.
Well, the Seattle-Atlanta games really are amazing, right?
Yep.
When you consider that we were stacking all these up.
Yep.
They pissed both of those games away at one point or another and still won, managed to win.
Yep.
They won.
So they won, give them credit. But all this talk of being the greatest franchise ever, I just can't go there. Show me, go to the Super Bowl and beat somebody 52-10 like Dallas did. Go there and.
Well, they don't need to do that, and
I understand that
for this game this week.
Yep.
I think it's very hard to look at Nick Foles on the pictures on the walls and all the stuff here and compare him to Tom Brady. But for one afternoon, I'll say this with Foles: he did feel like he belonged the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't feel he feels calm. It doesn't feel like it's too big for him. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks come in here real jittery for their first time.
Well, there was a play in the Minnesota game, the touchdown to Jeffries. That pocket was collapsing. Griffin had him by his shoulder pad. Foles just kind of moved his pad away, kept his eyes downfield. The other D lineman grabbed his right shoulder, and he never took his eyes off field, took one step left, let it clear, hit Jeffries for a touchdown. I turned to my wife, and I said, most quarterbacks in the NFL go down there. Most quarterbacks in that situation just go down, protect the ball. He stood there in the pocket, and then you look at his stats at the end of the game. 26 of 33 for 352 and 3 touchdowns. So I think people now have to accept the fact that on this big stage, he's not just going to show up and play horrible. He's got a head coach who's a quarterback.
Like he did against Oakland a month ago.
But if you look at the Oakland game, because I had Philadelphia that night, there was 25-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah,
and it was 10 degrees.
A miserable night.
So it was a miserable night. So you kind of, and then the Dallas game, it was 0 degrees, 15-mile-an-hour wind, and Peterson just pulled the plug and said, we're not getting anything accomplished here, and took him out after 6 passes. What people aren't giving Philadelphia credit for is he's got a head coach and an offensive coordinator who are quarterbacks. So to game plan with them, they are game planning not from a offensive standpoint, but from how a quarterback sees the game standpoint. And all they've done these last 2 games have put him in a position to succeed with what he does best. Now, Belichick will counter that and give some exotic looks, and then therein lies the game within a game of what we're going to see on Sunday.
Brandon Lang from BrandonLang.com, longtime handicapper. The movie is 2 for the money. They made a movie about his life and career as well. Give everybody what you're doing here this weekend. It's a big weekend for fun wagering amongst friends, but there's also the professional side of what you've been doing for a long time.
Yeah, I tell you what, this game has kind of defined my career. I mean, when you're 22-3-2 with a selection, people kind of it's like the old E.F. Hutton commercial in the restaurant where E.F. Hutton goes to talk and everybody puts their ear in, everything goes silent. That's kind of the pressure of this is my 3rd year doing Radio Row. I haven't lost a pick here yet. It's been good, and I'm going for 4 in a row. 3 years ago I had New England over Seattle. 2 years ago Denver over Carolina, and then last year the gift comeback miracle with New England over Atlanta. So we're going for 4 in a row, 23 of 26. The pressure never changes to hit this game. My wife says she hates this week, hates it. She leaves the house on Sunday, gets away from me, leaves me alone to watch the game in agony. I wasn't feeling too good down 28-3 last year. A couple double shots.
I loved every minute of it,
So it's the pressure, but like I said, BrandonLang.com, the pick's up there right now. It's absolutely free. It's part of the one-day free all-access pass. I've never made the Super Bowl pick part of the package, but I want people to go there and sign up and get the pick for free and meet my handicappers and let's go get them on Sunday.
See you out in Vegas, man.
Okay.
Brandon Lang, BrandonLang.com, under the weather, and got to change spit guards after you leave. I'm very flu-centric. Flu and fly out of here.
Yes.
The BuyAToyota.com Audio Vault is there for you 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world by downloading the TuneIn Radio app. We do come in crystal clear. The morning newspaper comes to you at 7 a.m. each and every morning. That's all powered up by Planet Fitness and PlanetFitness.com. Big thanks to our friends at Howard Bank for sponsoring all things here, Super Bowl 52. The Ray Lewis bus trip now on sale under the Road Trips tab at WNST.net. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, available via email at nasty@WNST.net. Luke and I are live in cold, cold Minnesota. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.